Oh, I think you did a great job on this week's blog post about the videos and, screen time and all of that good stuff. So I'm just going to kind of go through what you said and how I took it and how I agree with you for the most part. Um, so basically, talking about being a mediator and considering each person's point of views, I think it is important that you said that both sides need to consider the pros and the cons. Um, you know, they need to state their points and try to get across to the other party kind of their point of view and their perspective. And so I think going through the pros and the cons is a good idea and will help them to come up with a compromise. Um, and you said a good compromise is that it is okay to play those video games and have that screen time, but to give them a set time limit. And I think that's a good idea. Being in a school and seeing kids every day, um, everyone is playing nowadays. And like you said, that is kind of their way to socialize. They go home and, they're on their headphones and they're talking to their friends. Um, and so I think it's okay for them to play, but not all night. And so I think giving that set time limit is important so that they aren't on from the time they get home at 3 o'clock till the time they go to bed, with just a pause for dinner. So, um, and then when we talked about why we think it's difficult for Jaden and his parents to see eye to eye, um, I think it is definitely a generational thing. Parents, they didn't grow up with video games, and or if they did, it was Mario Kart, something like that. So they didn't grow up with those video games, so they don't kind of understand the impact that it has on these kids' lives. Nowadays it's such a technology driven world, and every kid has video games, and um, that's once again how kids socialize. And so I think it's important for his parents to kind of understand that is the way that he's communicating with his friends. If he went outside to play, all of his friends are going to be inside playing video games. So it is pretty sad, but that's kind of how the world's come to. Um, and then as far as gratitude and appreciation, um, you said that Jaden needs to appreciate the fact that his parents want him to be social and want him to be healthy and go outside and play and kind of want what's best for him. And I also think that he also needs to be grateful that he has the gaming console in the first place, that he has the Xbox. Those things aren't cheap. And so he needs to go buy, I am very grateful that I have this available to me and I want to be able to use it and use it appropriately. So I think that he can take that route in being appreciative. I know you want what's best for me, and I'm very grateful for the fact that I have this opportunity, but I understand where you're coming from, and I think we can come up with a compromise. And then you also said that, there's tips that they can take from each other. And I think that's important because, kids are learning from their parents, but parents are also learning from their kids. It's kind of a two-way street. So I think that's important to understand as well. So that's kind of my take on your blog post. I think you did a great job once again, and I hope you have a great week.